Hey guys, Stock Series episode 75, another rough week, 7,000 down this week, so that's about just under 3%. Most of that has come here, about 5,000 of that, largely Hive blockchain. Argo's down a little bit, Pan American Silver down a little bit. Don't even think Silver's sort of taken much of a hit, so I expect that is either just sort of volatility selling or something to do with the company. I haven't quite paid attention to that. Crypto market has just seen a drastic sell-off, so if that continues into next week, then the Argo and Hive will get a lot worse. And yeah, so that's not been too good. A bit of sort of volatility in the main markets, really. Sort of your unprofitable growth stocks are not faring too well. The sort of big tech FANG side of things is holding up reasonably well from what I've seen, but yeah, very shaky markets at the moment. Sort of dollar rising, inflation. They've just sort of the US have just came out and said inflation is no longer transitory. So potential of sort of rate increases and tapering off the money printing. So yeah, could be in for a rough time on stocks. So the Trading212 ISA is down about 1,700 quid. Part of that is the ARCPI, down a couple of hundred, I think. The REITs doing quite well, actually, sort of helping out. Argo, as I say, down about 10%, so that's a bit rough. I have actually, not the best timing. Sort of we had a bit of a drop in Argo, and I thought we're into December now, kind of still bullish on Bitcoin and sort of expecting it to move, so I sold off some of my smaller sort of UK REITs, sort of temporarily, really. Primary Healthcare, Assura, and I think Target Healthcare REIT, yes. And put all of those into Argo. So, yeah, that was sort of around about £1.30-ish, I think. So, yeah. Come down to 122 and probably will go a lot lower next week, so that's not been the best of moves, but we hold on, see where things go. The Bitcoin ETP actually up for the week, incredibly. REITs, as I say, REITs doing, the US REITs at least doing quite well. First Majestic Silver down quite heavily. Sylvania completely flat for the week, not too bad. So yeah, as I say, the sort of REITs not really moved. Vici down slightly, I think, with the new variant sort of hitting America a little bit. Public venues or casinos sort of maybe seen as a little bit risky, but nothing to worry about there. The invest account actually doing really, really well. Down £100, considering all the sort of volatility going around. That's what diversification brings you. So, yeah, not all that many big drops here. Some green and then some big red drops. Alibaba, 16% down on the week. So there's sort of renewed talks of potentially delisting this off the US stock exchange. So being in the invest account, I am quite considering selling out of this Baidu, probably just this and Baidu, and opening up an account with Interactive Brokers at long last, and buying the Hong Kong listings. So that would sort of avoid any delisting risk there. If it does happen, the Hong Kong ones would probably drop, but yeah, you're not at risk of going to zero at least. And this isn't an issue with the companies themselves. I still think they've got a bright future, and this would also lock in sort of a bit of loss. So yeah, that would be good for sort of tax loss harvesting purposes. If I lock in sort of a £1,500 loss at where I'm at the moment, you'd sort of save a bit of capital gains tax, and then just put the whole lot into the Hong Kong listing on Interactive Brokers. So whether that counts as, I mean, they are different stocks. I probably need to just look into whether that counts as tax loss harvesting, but I'd probably do it either way, just for the safety. So yeah, that's that. Alphabet and Apple slightly up. Not participating in the big NASDAQ sell-off. Archer Daniels down slightly. ASOS down. Aviva actually up 5.7%. That's pretty good. Rather surprising. Baidu pretty much gone with Alibaba. As I say, probably be looking to move that to Interactive Brokers. Been wanting to set up an account for a while, really. Barrett Developments 4.6, not too bad. Bristol Myers flat. Broadcom up slightly. eBay was one of the big droppers. Bit surprising, really. Sort of normally think in any downturns eBay would do quite well. Being a sort of discount second hand, people would be turning to this if they think we're in a downturn. FedEx 1% up. Glencore pretty flat. A lot of these are kind of flat, really. Hymax up 5%, quite annoying because I haven't put any in yet. I think it's going to be a little while now before I can sort of add any significant amount to this. The crypto market is sort of not playing ball as I'd hoped. So yeah, might have to just stay patient on that. It's probably going to go into sort of Q1, maybe even towards Easter time. International paper down a couple of percent. Emerging markets surprised me, up 1.7%. I haven't looked sort of which of these sectors was doing really well, because the Chinese part of it, sort of selling off, should have hit it quite hard, I thought. But yeah, maybe it's Taiwan, maybe it's India. Don't know. Japan, pretty flat. Global Clean Energy down, with the rest of the tech sell-off. Europe pretty flat. I think most of the rest of these are fairly flat. Lennar doing quite well. I think all the house builders are doing reasonably well. Lockheed down a bit. Micron down a bit. Nintendo just up. Mostly flat for the last little while. Porsche down. Process. Surprised this wasn't down more, really. 10-cent sort of not done quite as badly as the other Chinese tech, but I think this might be Process doing a little bit better than 10-cent. So it's not too bad. I would like to... So I won't be moving that because Process sort of own a proper stake in 10-cent rather than the ADRs, from what I gather. So yeah, they're a European listed company, so yeah, as far as 10-cent goes, I would just keep Process and be topping that up here, I expect, rather than move that to Interactive Brokers. Raytheon down slightly, Renault down, Rio Tinto pretty flat. Shell surprised me, yeah, 5.5%, sort of up on the week. I think gas has maybe been sort of a little bit volatile. I thought I saw gas was down, oil's down, and yeah, Shell up for the week, so a little bit strange. Dollar up as well, and yeah, very strange. Samsung up near 4.5% as well. Again, would like to up that one. Not a huge amount of other moves here, I don't think. Stellantis, yeah, pretty flat. TSMC up ever so slightly. Taylor Wimpey, as I say, house builders doing fairly well. Need to have a look what's going on, because sort of dropped to £1.52 on Taylor Wimpey earlier in the week. So yeah, housing sector must have had some good news. Tesla sort of not leading the sell-off, but certainly getting hit. I think Elon Musk still sort of selling some shares. I don't think he's quite done. Really should have sold this at 12.30 as I was looking at back in sort of the highs. Was really looking at it there, and I thought, no, I'll let it run. And yeah, that's not been the best decision. Turtle Beach, I think they've had some sort of fairly negative news. But yeah, do still quite like these. Looking at Corsair Gaming as well. I know it's quite a popular one amongst many UK guys. So yeah, I think both of those look quite interesting for the reasonable long term. Tyson Foods still up slightly, helping out. Vale up 2.9%. Haven't done anything with this, so quite annoying to see this sort of recovering from the lows. But yeah, there we go. Video games not doing too well. Activision Blizzard sort of taken a fairly big hit recently, so I expect that hasn't helped. But yeah, I think the sort of sector as a whole is just seen as growth stocks, so it's coming down. Beatrice not doing too well. Thought that was going to do better, but we'll see. Yeah, and Volkswagen still very low. It's probably I was saying one of my most bullish stocks, but yeah, everything's sort of come down now this week, and there's lots of buys, I think. Although I still think we've got probably worse to come if we start getting, like I say, talks of sort of easing off on the money printing, inflation, interest rate rises potentially. There's a lot of bad news sort of potentially to come out. So yeah, I could see this sort of the whole lot coming down sort of fair bit over the next month or two. But we'll see. Hopefully crypto can sort of come into a bit of positivity and could maybe start to buy some sort of in the next couple of months. But as I say, I can't see me doing a lot sort of before Christmas, certainly. So yeah, not the most positive video, a little bit depressing, but yeah, we'll see where we go. So leave your thoughts in comments below, and let us know how you're doing, and see you soon.